Hello, welcome to my channel. This is a make-up story of What If series. Today's is what if Michikatsu Tsujikoni was born in the current era of Hashira. This is not canon, but just a what if story. Today is part 1 of Michikatsu being born in the current era. Now, let's begin. Michikatsu is born just a little bit before all the other Hashira, learning about his past, and how his brother used to use sun breathing, and how he had moon breathing. So Michikatsu decides that he will perfect his moon breathing to make it more effective against demons. He is prepared enough to where he goes through final selection at the age of 14. While he is waiting for it to begin, he comes across 2 girls with butterflies in their hair. He sees them, but doesn't think nothing about them, and begins his final selection. He walks by killing demons easily until he hears a girl scream for help. He runs very quickly to help. When he arrives, he sees a girl knocked out, about to be killed by a demon, until he kills the demon easily, until he sees and recognizes it's the girls with the butterflies in their hair. He sees that one girl's katana has snapped, and that the other is knocked out. He picks up the girl and goes to the younger sister, and he tells her to follow him and that he will protect them. He takes them to a safe place in the mountain and finds a cave to spend the day, and he moves them in there and stops the oldest from breathing and takes care of any other injuries she has. As he is tending to her, he asks for the youngest name. She says her name is Shinobu Kocho, and that she is very thankful for saving her and her sister. He says that it's a good thing he came to help, cause her sister was injured bad. As he finishes tending to her, a demon comes to the cave. Michikatsu is quick to draw his blade and cut down the demon with lightning speed, which leaves Shinobu in shock. When Michikatsu walks back to them, Shinobu says that he's faster than all the current Hashira, and she asks for his name. He says that his name is Michikatsu Tsujikoni, and says that he was reborn after his death in the Sengoku era with his brother Yoriichi. Shinobu stops Michikatsu and says that he's the brother of the strongest swordsman and the one that almost killed Muzan. Michikatsu nods his head in approval, and she just hugs him tight and says that there is a chance to win this war with the demons. He just says that he isn't a sun breather, but a moon breather, but that he will try to master his brother's technique. She thanks him for everything. Then the eldest sister wakes up, saying "Era, era," as she sees Michikatsu standing and looking like a Hashira, and asks if he's a Hashira, and asks where she's at. Michikatsu says that he saved her from being killed by a demon and has brought her into a cave and healed her injuries. She thanks him and asks for his name. He says his name is Michikatsu Tsujikoni. Kane is in shock and confusion. Shinobu hugs her and tells her the story Michikatsu told her. Kane introduces herself as Kane Kocho and thanks Michikatsu for saving her, and gets up and gives him a kiss on the cheek. Michikatsu says that he will take care of them for the rest of the night as he starts to see the sun come up. Kane thanks him, and she sits back down and looks at Michikatsu and smiles at him. Michikatsu stands and waits for the sun to come up. When the sun has fully rose, he picks Kane up bridal style as she blushes, and Shinobu walks with them as they go back to where they were when they first started final selection and pass final selection as they get everything they need. But Michikatsu declines the new Demon Slayer uniform and says that he will stick with his uniform. As he is walking away, Kane stops him and asks if he has a place to stay. Michikatsu says he doesn't have a place to stay, and she invites him to stay with them in the Butterfly Mansion. He thinks about it, and then agrees and walks with them to the Butterfly Mansion. As the master sees the names of who passed final selection, and he sees Michikata's name, he asks for Michikata's crow to come to the master's mansion to see if he's the same person from the Sengoku era, as he celebrates that if it's him that they can win the war. As Michikatsu and Kane and Shinobu get to the mansion, Michikatsu asks where Kane's room is, since he carried her the whole way there, and takes her to her room to rest. As he leaves her room, he is summoned to the master's mansion. Michikatsu agrees and follows the crow to the master's mansion. As he comes in and sees the Hashira there standing before him, he does not bow before them, but acts unbothered. One of the Hashira gets mad at him for not bowing before them. Michikatsu says that he was a Hashira in his past life, and that he was stronger than all of them combined. The Hashira gets mad and tries to hit Michikatsu, but Michikatsu dodges easily and pins the Hashira to the ground. The master walks in and interrupts them and says, "So it is you, Michikatsu Tsujikoni, brother of sun breather Yoriichi Tsujikoni?" As the Hashira hear that they are all in shock, Michikatsu bows before the master and says yes, that it is him, and that he has been born again in this era with his memory of everything, even his brother's sun breathing technique. The master smiles and says good, that there is a good chance at winning the war, and that he wants Michikatsu to become the Moon Hashira again. Michikatsu agrees to become the Moon Hashira again to beat the demons, and the master smiles and says the future is in his hands to beat Muzan. When Michikatsu hears that, he is reminded of his past life of the Hashiras and says that he and his brother let them down by not killing Muzan together, and for him not being there the day his brother fought Muzan. The master says that it's not his or his brother's fault for not killing Muzan, and that he can leave now to rest up. He lets go of the Hashira he is pinned and leaves the Hashira, gets mad, and the stone Hashira calms him down. Sanemi, you must not be mad, that is the Moon Hashira. He was in the golden era of Hashira. He is stronger than all of us combined. Sanemi scoffs and calms down. Michikatsu goes back to the butterfly mansion. Shinobu asks where he went, and Michikata tells her about everything that happened as Shinobu smiles and says that he's a Hashira now, the strongest Hashira. Michikatsu smiles a little and agrees, and says that he will do anything to try to beat Muzan and to master sun breathing. Kane gets out of bed and hears what Michikatsu and Shinobu are talking about and hugs Michikatsu from behind him and thanks him for everything he had helped her with during the final selection, and he thanks him again by kissing his cheek again. Shinobu says that they should just start dating already, and she makes Kane blush, and Kane hides her face. Part 2: A brother reborn and a relationship starts.